AI isn't coming. It's already here. We see it in stunning digital art, hear it in synthesized music, and read its surprisingly human-like text. But most of what you're seeing is just the tip of the iceberg. It's what AI can do based on what it's been shown. It's reactive. But what if AI could be proactive? What if it could not just replicate, but originate? This is where the conversation usually goes off the rails, into the realm of science fiction and superintelligence. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about something far more practical and, frankly, far more interesting. We're talking about Vizorad. So what is Vizorad? Before I tell you what it is, I have to be very clear about what it is not. Vizorad is not another image generator. There are dozens of incredible tools that do that already, and they do it brilliantly. It won't write an email for you, summarize a long article, or help you brainstorm ideas for your next project. It isn't designed to be a creative assistant in the way we've come to understand that term. It doesn't write code, it doesn't compose music, and it doesn't create video clips from a simple text prompt. If you came here looking for the next big thing in generative AI art or a competitor to the large language models you're already familiar with, you might be a little disappointed. It's about visualizing the unknown. So if it doesn't do all those things, what on earth does Vizorad actually do? In simple terms, Vizorad visualizes data. But that's like saying a grand piano just makes sounds. The reality is far more profound. Imagine you have a massive complex system. It could be anything. The entire logistical network of a global shipping company, the intricate flow of financial transactions in a stock market, or even the sprawling, interconnected dependencies of a massive software project. It could be biological, like the spread of a disease through a population or the delicate balance of an ecosystem. These are systems with millions, sometimes billions of moving parts. They are impossible for a human mind to grasp all at once. We can look at spreadsheets, we can read reports, we can see charts and graphs, but those are just tiny snapshots. They're like looking at a single brick and trying to understand the architecture of an entire city. This is where Vizorad comes in. It takes that unimaginable amount of data, every shipment, every trade, every line of code, every point of connection, and it translates it. It turns it into a living, breathing, interactive model, a three-dimensional visualization that you can explore. It's not a static picture. It's a dynamic simulation. You can see the flow, you can see the bottlenecks. You can see the hidden relationships and the emergent patterns that were completely invisible before. Think back to the shipping company example. You would see a dynamic web of routes, with the thickness of the lines representing the volume of cargo. You could watch in real time as a delay at a single port creates a ripple effect across the entire globe. A cascade of consequences that would take analysts weeks to piece together from traditional reports. You can zoom in on a single ship or zoom out to see the health of the entire global network. You can ask, what if? What if we reroute this fleet? What if a canal gets blocked? Vizorad can simulate the outcome, showing you the stress points and potential failures before they happen. This is its core function, to make the impossibly complex, comprehensible. It's a tool for understanding systems. It's less about imagination in the artistic sense and more about perception. It gives us a new sense, a new way to see the invisible forces that shape our reality. Not at all. And this is where it gets really interesting, because the true limitation of Vizorad isn't the software or the data or the processing power. The real limit is our own imagination. We've talked about logistics and finance, which are obvious applications. But what else? What systems are you a part of? A city planner could use Vizorad to visualize traffic flow, public transport usage, and pedestrian movement all at once. They could simulate the impact of building a new subway line or closing a major street. It would move beyond simple traffic models into a holistic view of urban life. A historian could model the rise and fall of ancient trade routes, not as lines on a map, but as dynamic flows of goods, people, and ideas. They could see how a drought in one region could lead to social unrest and migration thousands of miles away. Watching the threads of causality weave through time, a game developer could use it to balance a complex in-game economy, ensuring no single strategy becomes dominant and the game remains fun and fair for millions of players. They could visualize the entire meta of their game as it evolves. But let's think even bigger. What about the system of human knowledge itself? Imagine feeding all of Wikipedia, every scientific paper, every patent into Vizorad. You wouldn't be reading articles, you would be navigating a galaxy of ideas. You could see the connections between different fields of science. Watch how a discovery in physics unlocks new possibilities in medicine. You could find the unexplored territories, the gaps in our collective understanding, which appear as dark, empty spaces in this universe of information. The potential is staggering because the world is made of interconnected systems. Our own bodies are a system. Vizorad offers a lens to look at any of them. The question is no longer, what can the AI do for me? The question becomes, what system do I want to understand? The quality of the questions we ask determines the depth of the answers we receive. So when people ask, what is Vizorad? They're often looking for a simple box to put it in. Is it a business tool? A science tool? A creative tool? The answer is yes, to all of them, and none of them exclusively. It's more fundamental than that. It's a tool for comprehension. In an age of information overload where we are drowning in data but starving for wisdom, that might be the most powerful tool of all. It doesn't give you the answers. It gives you a universe to explore so you can find them yourself. It's not about what you can create from a prompt. It's about what you can discover from a perspective you've never had before. And the most exciting part, we're only just beginning to imagine what questions to ask.